Hi and welcome to Fun Swedish. Swedes are famous, at least in Sweden, for communicating with the neighbors through notes, especially when they are annoyed at them. These notes are called arga lappar, angry notes. So why do we write these notes to our neighbors? Writing them feels less scary than face-to-face confrontation. A Swede is in general very konflikträdd, scared of conflicts. So these arga lappar is a great way for us to express our anger. If you move to Sweden, you will sooner or later see one of these arga lappar in the building. And maybe you will end up writing one yourself. That's when you know that you have become a real Swede. From a language learning perspective, reading these angry notes can be a really good way to learn Swedish. Because you will learn Swedish words, a lot about Swedish culture and social norms, and also some bad words, fula ord. Where can you find these arga lappar? The most common place to put these arga lappar is in the trapphus, the stairwell, or in the hiss, in the elevator. Today in this video we will read and translate some of these passive-aggressive notes. Some of them are my own, but not written by me, just that I have found them in different places here in Stockholm. And some come from this fun page called Arga lappen, where Swedes can send in all the arga lappar they found. So let's start. But before we do that, don't forget to put a like and subscribe to our channel if you haven't done it yet, because this way we can make more videos for you. Okay, moving on. Now I will read 4 lappar for you in Swedish, and then I will translate them to English. Not word by word, but so that you can get the meaning and the general feeling of it. The first arga lapp is called Kära parfymtant, dear perfume lady. Here is the first interesting word to analyze, tant. If you translate tant to most internet dictionaries, then you will get either lady or aunt. But nowadays it's mostly used in a more negative way to talk about an older woman, but without being too aggressive. Somewhere between lady and maybe hag, but of course depending on how you say it and also in what context. In this case, parfymtant sounds a bit more passive-aggressive, more negative. And it goes like this. Vi, dina kära grannar, har vid det här laget förstått att du älskar din parfym väldigt mycket. We, your dear neighbors, have by now understood that you love your perfume very much. That is a bit passive-aggressive. Then it continues. Tyvärr är det nog så att vi andra inte älskar den riktigt lika mycket. Unfortunately, the rest of us probably don't love it quite as much as you do. This is definitely very passive-aggressive. Because instead of saying vi hatar din parfym, we hate your perfume, they threw in this nog, which can be translated to probably here. And that riktigt lika mycket, not quite as much. Then it continues. Din närvaro känns på 100 meters håll och din doft hänger kvar i hissen och trapphuset en kvart efter att du passerat. One can feel your presence from 100 meters away, and your fragrance sticks around in the elevator and staircase 50 minutes after you passed by. Och det luktar inte ens gott. And it doesn't even smell good. Here the writer just couldn't take it anymore, and he went 100% direct and aggressive. And it continues like this. Det påminner mer om saringas eller något. It reminds one more of sarin gas or something like that. So this writer is using some chemical weapon references here, keeping it classy. Kan du inte typ använda lite mindre? Could you use a bit less? This phrase kind of tells me that the person who wrote this note is under 40. This word typ, especially in its written form, is a little bit more rare among the older generation of Swedes. Okay, let's move on to our next arga lapp, which was found in tvättstugan, the laundry room. For those who don't know, in Sweden it's quite common to have a shared laundry room with your neighbors. especially if you live in an older flat. And this communal laundry room is a place of conflicts. But of course, we handle these conflicts the Swedish way, which is to put notes to communicate with each other. This note that we will look at now happens to be a little bit less passive-aggressive, because it's just aggressive. Vem i helvete har stulit mina vita tofflor? Who the hell stole my white slippers? This note goes straight to the point. Är de inte tillbakalagda under denna vecka kommer jag kräva husrannsakan i varje lägenhet på Fredriksberg. If they're not back in the same place this week, I will demand a house search in every apartment in Fredriksberg. Here, as you can see, the Swedes is even threatening their neighbors. All aggression out. But it seems that it was enough rage to get it off their chest. So they calmed down a bit. Tack på förhand. Thanks in advance. You still have to be polite. The next arga lapp, I found myself walking around in Söder in Stockholm. And this angry note is titled Summer in the City, just like a famous ABBA song. And it goes like this. När man bor i stan, till exempel på Bellmansgatan, är det många ljud man bara måste acceptera. If you live in the city, like Bellmansgatan, there are many noises you just need to live with. Kyrkklockorna, the church bells, fulla 20-plussare utanför hjärtat, drunk 20 years old outside of the bar hjärtat, att grannen har fest och spelar piano, that the neighbor has a party or plays the piano, hiphop på maxvolym från den nedkabbade BMWn som kör förbi, hiphop music blasting from a BMW convertible driving by, och så vidare, etc. Så är det när man valt bo här. That's the way it is when you choose to live here. That was a long intro to come to the point of the actual complaint. But here it comes. Däremot, att vara tvingad att lyssna på samma radio- och tv-kanal som ekar över gården från morgon till kväll, dag efter dag, det är inte acceptabelt. However, to be forced to listen to the same TV or radio channel that echoes over the courtyard all day, every day, that is not acceptable. Det blir mer och mer tjatigt och irriterande. It gets more and more repetitive and annoying. Därför, du eller ni som har radion eller tvn på med hög volym. Therefore, those of you who listen to the radio or the TV with a high volume, med öppen balkongdörr, gör ett val nu. While having the balcony door open, make a choice now. Fortsätt att lyssna, men stäng då balkongdörr och fönster. Continue listening, but close the balcony door and the window. Eller, fortsätt vädra, men stäng då tvn eller radion. Or, continue ventilating, but turn off the radio or the TV. Med vänliga hälsningar, grannarna i, and then comes the name of the street. Kind regards, the neighbors from, and then the name of the street. Some people like to get a bit more poetic and creative with their arga lappar. It's also a way for them to channel their anger. And then we have come to our last note. This is actually not an angry note, but still an interesting one. Hej kära grannar! Hi dear neighbors! This starts well. Om du sitter ensam och har ingen att fira jul med, så hör av dig. If you are all alone and you have no one to celebrate Christmas with, contact me. Aw, such a sweet neighbor. But then it continues. Skulle behöva låna dina stolar. I would need to borrow your chairs. What kind of neighbor is this? Vilken skitstövel. Vänligen Johan på 3:e våningen. Kind regards Johan from the 3rd floor. So, here we have another example where Swedes get creative with their notes. Not sure if this is a heartless note or just a joke, but it sure is a funny one. So, have you ever seen or written an arg lapp? Is this also a thing in your country? Let us know in the comment section below. And before you go, don't forget to put a like and subscribe so I don't have to get passive aggressive about it.